Alright, this will be the first time I try and make this video. So clearly, you know what I'm talking about? Like when it comes down to like your grandparents, they were all like, oh, there's no real internet, there's no phone, there's no nothing, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, they're gonna go someplace to actually meet, but it's like away from those fuckers who are all like, and like super fucking like authoritative, and they're like, they don't know who Dolly is. So it's all like, you don't know what LGBTQIA is. So, you know, that's kind of a thing, and they spent like fucking, what was it, like fucking millions of dollars to try and figure out like the basic things, and they got ran around, you know, because clearly they're shitty people, and they should be. That's how that works, right? Like, we know what that is. You know what I mean? That's why people did that. So it's like, okay, well, you know, but that's kind of the point. You know, they learned how to fucking do that. You know, hey, I like apple pie. Baseball is great. You know, that kind of stuff. You know, good old World War I, World War II, fucking Korea. You know, that kind of fucking Vietnam shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, it was all like, all right, so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna do our thing. We're gonna fucking kick them out. We don't like them. They're shitty. You know, most people actually find these people just fine. No real issues, right? But we know we have to deal with the Gestapo because clearly we were dealing with the Gestapo. Wow, that's really fucking similar to us here in America. Like, genuinely, it is. Yeah, like, and those were the baby boomers. Now, granted, a lot of them moved on, did their own thing, right? So it's like, okay, whatever. No one really cares. Most of them either died and or died trying to get unions started, you know, gone after later over time by the Gestapo, or just simply decided to go live in another goddamn country. You know what I mean? That's standard shit. So it's like, okay, well, we're moving on from that, because that clearly is what happened. That's what we see historically. So, like, no matter how hard they try and say some shit, they're just wrong. That's just how that works. But it's not just to me, it's like the evidence says they're wrong outright. Full on. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, you're the one wrong. I made it so that way. The very Holocaust, I deny. I'm like, I don't care about you denying. It definitely happened. Shut the fuck up. We also landed on the moon. You're dumb. Deal with it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing, right? So, like, we moved on. We did our thing. We got some unions. We didn't really fully get to keep the unions. They gave up with the fucking young ones and the Gen Xers while they continued trying to beat the shit out of them. Because, like, truthfully, do you even understand like what the fuck it was that my parents did to me? But it's like, oh, that's comparison. Obviously not great. They didn't know about that at the time. A lot of them got better. They were over time, but you know, feelings of resentment and all that are what they are. And in fact, they were not really acting like the Gen Xers, being as narcissistic at times as they were. However, a lot of them got conned into doing this one weird thing called what? We should have debt though. Like debt's like great. They're killing all of our companies that ever had any unions while also doing, you have no idea, the worst things ever, basically, right? Now, if you're old enough, then you do kind of know, but you probably were like, no, I was getting paid enough, it wasn't that bad, you're wrong. Meanwhile, it's actually over like $150 an hour for them to equate to the like dollar or whatever the fuck it was that they were getting hourly. You know what I mean? You know, the reason why I like talking about that is because we've crashed several times from 1980, 1990, 2000s, 2010s, and then we ended up having, well, the 2020s here, where it hasn't really gotten better, and Trump's gotten elected the second time, and it's gotten worse, you know what I mean? Like in the economy side of things. Inflation has gone constantly, right? But like, anyways, the 80s like, oh, we had a fucking protest, we gotta do our thing. You know, 70s like, we learned how to fucking do some of that shit. Oh, we're so fucking cool, right? And it's like, look at the fucking Gestapo weirdo, fucking, you know, like, look, I got a vest and shit. Anyways, they're like, you know, all hoovering up in here, you know, and our fucking like basic bitch kind of like, oh, I don't know, protest group, right? Like, we're allowed to do this, but then they're like, no, you know what I mean? We won't be like the Brits, and then they became like the Brits later. Whole thing. That's your face. I don't like that. And I'm like, everything checks out so far. We're good, you know what I mean? Oh, thanks, man. That also agrees with me. Thanks. Don't worry about this, though. It's going to get worse for everyone, of course. Because, like, hey, Gen X really didn't fucking get better. It actually got worse. We got way worse. There's a lot of worse things that happened they don't really even like talking about. There's like so many fucking stories that are really terrible. It's kind of like how when you try and look back, I remember that happening, us millennials here, and then we can't really find it, but like we know for a fact that was a thing. It's like, was that Mandela? What was that? No, it was actually a thing. They just don't want to fucking record that shit. They don't want to make it easy at all for you to find some of that. You know what I mean? Like, right? But like, hey, critical race theory is a thing that they don't want either. So like, there's that. Right? You know, standard shit. Everybody knows about that. Oh wait, no, we actually do know. They didn't like that part though. What's that about? Who's they? Government? Corporations? You know? Standard like, hey, I'll sell you a bunch of t-shirts that say I'm with you. You know, like corporation or corporate or whatever it was on sci-fi, you know what I mean? That only lasted one fucking total season, let me tell you. It's a little too accurate, actually. Not like the Don't Look Up, where it's just threading the line just good enough, you know what I mean? Where it's like, I would never do that, now I have to make sure to not fucking do that. Something were to happen. Anyways, we're moving on. They always think it's like an allegory, right, for like climate change or something. Meanwhile, yeah, there's a little bit of truth to that, I'm sure. But you know what it really is? It looks like anything that might be like a genuine world-ending destruction kind of thing, they tend to do this. You ever notice that? I noticed that. Point is, right, Gen Xers get their own like kind of like groups, and then they joined up with the fucking baby boomers. There's like fucking, oh, they're so terrible. Yeah, no, they're so bad. No one should ever, like, they're just evil. We don't like any old people. That's just bad. Sex is massively sacred. You cannot be doing that. I'm just like the same as you. Fucking super into like it's this way. What's that way again? Can you remind me again? Like what I'm supposed to say here? What am I supposed to say here? What was I supposed to do? I don't remember actually. Like genuinely, I'm a little hungover. That's why. Like normally I would get it, but I'm just really hungover. You know what I mean? Like it's just fucking whatever I gotta do to get through that. Fucking weird, you know what I mean? Like they're fucking so awkward. They're the worst. Right? But then they're like, oh no, we're in the closet. We love our closet. Everything's in the closet. You know what I mean? Then we fucking like help them fucking destroy people. We get all guilty. Whole that thing. You know what I mean? Right? And so like it changes in no real way, and it you know continues on like, hey, I've got a career, I got something that it's a sacrifice, you know, kind of stuff, right? But it's like, all right, so Zillennials and Millennials are coming in. Zillennials are like, oh my god, maybe I can get involved in some of that fucking holy shit. What you got over there? What's up? Right? Then like Millennials, they're way too fucking young, obviously. Right, so it's like, all right, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna do our thing. You know, fucking standard shit, really, honestly. So you know, we're trying our best, right? Because we're kids. Are you fucking like what? We're trying to get to the point where like everything changed. We were young teens, barely as close to the 2 digits. We're trying, man. Fucking, they hit the towers. Do you remember the towers? Fucking over 2 decades ago. Like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, it's terrible. Like, seriously, no, I agree with you. But also, it was 2 decades ago. Do you know that, millennials? That was 2 decades ago. You know, when people in Gen X land and Baby Boomer land said, get the fuck over it, to people, there's a reason for it. They have no sensitivity, my ass. They were just going like, fuck you, I had to work through this and fuck tons, while I ended up having to go fucking barely make my fucking life work. And I have no time for anything. You know what? You don't even know. We don't know now, Dad and Mom. This is so uncalled for. Right? Meanwhile, Gen Z is just like, fuck, nah, it's gonna be fine. I'm like, no, it's not. You fucking voted in. You helped vote that stupid. I'm gonna kill you. I'm getting it with your fucking great-grandfather and your fucking grandfather. And you know what? Don't you dare run, you little bitch. We're gonna fucking beat some sense into you, you little douche. I fucking hate you. Right? Just fucking full on. We're just over the shit. You know, they might have been right about that a little. That's what fucking you. It's not fine. It's just not, kid. You don't know shit. Shut up. Anyways, point is, we're getting a little too far. They're like somewhat in there, you know, those animals, right? You know, they're fucking trying. You think that's like, but they're like 30 years ago. That's what that shit was for some of them. You know what I mean? That's what that was with the fucking 2001 thing. That was 30 years plus some for some of them. That's right? Fuck. Like, wow, what's up, olders? How you been? Older than me. Oh, I'm old over here. I'm 30 fucking 3. I'm aged. There's no middle here, fucking bitch. No, I'm not old. I'm not young. Fuck you. I'm aged. Right? So anyways, we're getting up there. We got like fucking that. And then like a little while later, other fucking problems. And then like everything come crashing down. You know what I mean? Like, fucking great housing crisis. Thanks, bro. Can't manage that fucking Gen X. Bitch! What is wrong with you? Fuck you! I can't say a word here. This was actively really bad. It's hurting me, too. Oh, bailed out. Bitch fuck. Fuck you, you douche. Fuck. Meanwhile, that's how much we care. We're just gonna get away with it. Fucking! And then they did. So there's that, you know. Yeah, meanwhile, my plain clothes are not that detectable. What's up, Chloe? How you been? Detectable. Fucking not that detectable. You know what I mean? Right, but it's like, alright, so like they're doing their group on like this online thing and like the millennials. Whoosh, we have all the power in our little local area group that we're grouping up, and this is the only thing. You go to here and you do this stuff, and like, that's the clear, like that's obviously what's good and shit. You know what I mean? They're psyoping. They're saying this is how this works. You know what I mean? Like it's ADHD. You just got to try whatever fucking harder. You know what I mean? ADHD. What even is that? That's wrong. Fucking autism. Oh my god, I have that. Oh my god. I just want to fucking be able to look skinny again. Fucking pot belly. Fucking never stop binge drinking. Fucking college years were the best years of my life, I gotta tell you. Finally getting there. They're in their 50s. You got like maybe 20 years left. Ah! Meanwhile, they're fucking some 21. It's disgusting! Yeah, whatever. It's just sex. Whatever. I don't care. No one. Once you get there, it's like you don't care. The 20-year-olds are the only ones that seem to care. The 30-year-olds are like, fuck you. I would have done it too. Fuck off, man. Like some of them know some shit. I would have fucking enjoyed some. Are you fucking kidding me? Meanwhile, 30. You don't know. Then go back into the closet. Oh my god. That was like, you know, would you be into that? Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Hey, what's up over there? I would be. Suck it! I don't care. You know me. You know a lot of us. We're open-minded. We're the ones that wanted to go like, fucking LGBTQIA+, fucking add more! A through Z, bitch! Apache's here! We're full on board. We're like, fuck yes, let's go. Fuck yes, awesome. Do it. Yes! Right? And it's like college is all like fucking self-discovery. You know, we're just doing it. You know what I mean? We're just fucking enjoying ourselves. Fucking like, you were going to fucking listen to my boundaries, you little fucking piece of shit. You're gonna do that. Meanwhile, Gen Xers are like, fuck you! Ah! I needed that! No! I don't wanna! You! Baby boomers are like, I still go on to the onlines. They're in the background. What's up, guys? Hey, what's up, cool boys, gals? What the fuck you doing? Fucking into it. Hell yeah, you're disgusting. Yeah, you get a lot of views saying that, but that's not true. Deal with it. Fucking cookie cutter ass bullshit. Make sure to say the right thing. That's all you gotta do. Fucking anybody can just say easy shit that everybody wants to hear. Get out of here, you pandering piece of shit. No one cares about you. See what I'm saying? That fucking problem, right? But it's like, don't worry. They're like, hey, what's up, millennials? Now we're all like, no, I'm trying. You guys fucked us over hard. You ruined the last sanctity. There's the only place left. You fucked hard. That was it. The online was it. That was it. You were untouched, you fucking bitch. You ruined everything. Why? That's not that bad. Yes, it is. Everything is bullshit just meant to... You know what? You should die. That's what that is. That's what that is. Okay? All of you should die. That's how that works. That's just it. We're done with this conversation. We're not doing it any further. Right? But it's like, all right, I'm going to get posts. I'm going to get everybody to be fucking influenced by me. This is how we think now. Guys, like, this is the trend. Okay? Like, we're fatting up like this. All right? And you're ADHD, so you just want to fucking move on to the whole new thing and the next new thing and whatever. And let's just go. Okay? Just fucking give into it. And it worked. Cookie cutter pander bitch. I fucking hate you. Fucking bitch. Fuck, I shit you not. You ruined everything. You have. There's no way. Now you have nothing out there because they are already full on controlling those little fucking groups in your little local, like, actual real world area. Full on. That's like a thing. Right? And then, like, anything online, same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, if you go in there, then you have to play all the fucking little networking. Fucking networking. You just go over there and you talk to somebody. There doesn't have to be a fucking transactional bullshit level to any of it, but it's like, it's a psyop. It really actually is. Right? Like, you're only allowed to like this. You can never think, let me just put this like fucking, well, they got, you know, together earlier than you wanted, and maybe some people felt like would be acceptable. Okay. But they lived a really good life. How did that work? How did they actually not, like, become some weird abusive thing, like, massively, most of your parents, you millennial cunts, and most of you now have, you stupid cunts, become? Ooh, look at that face. Look at that. Look at that fucking thing. You're eating it. You are. You know what that shit is. You went through it with your fucking parents, and you went through... It's the same. You little fucking dicks. You know what that is. So it's like, all right, we're going to go through dating and then talk, you know, like all of a sudden I'm more relaxed, right? I'm not going to allow you to fucking get in here, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then they still keep doing it, right? And so it's like, no, it's only that. Let's just fucking move it back to there so it's not what it actually is, you bitch. Deal with it. Suck my ginormous dick. Deal with it. Fucking suck it. You're going to have to just fucking deal. That's what this shit is. You decided to go fucking around like you're some fucking cult leader who's got all the fucking answers, and you're like, I can make it work. And I went, I'm going to actually do the work. You suck. Plus, I don't really have anything else I can really work on it because you know, I'm dealing with some serious problems. Truthfully, you know, parents and abuse and other fucking shit like that. Which there's, you know, I mean, how many different medications could I have possibly tried along with fucking therapy too? God, everybody, you're so fucking goddamn intelligent and smart. Thanks, yeah, but that doesn't mean I can get out of having the... Good! You know, I'm trying my ass off here, you bitch fuck. I want to say that so bad. To so many people. It's like I just have to listen to them drone on about. I'm like, I don't want to hear it. It doesn't mean what you think it means. That is literally meaningless. It is garbage after a point. Actual shit. Fucking shut up. I don't care. I know I'm smart. I know I'm intelligent. I know too many times. If it was pandering after a while, I'd then be able to at least do something with transactional and you're just some weird manipulative garbage, right? But it's like, no, they turn genuine real fast with me. And I'm like, I appreciate the fact that you think I'm better than others and I'm smarter and all the fuck. I don't care. Nothing matters. I just want to be better. You don't get it. You suck. Those guys, they suck. Yeah, no, they'll always be jealous little prick fucks that you've been trying to remove. I'm on your side. Don't worry about it. Right? Like, I got you. Don't worry. But, like, that doesn't change this part. You know what I mean? Because that's what they are. That's what... we're dealing with, right? They get infected and you're like, oh, I don't want to lose all the things, all the whatever, right? And so everything starts getting worse outright. That's how that works, right? That's just what it is. That's how that works, right? But it's like, no. Then we're going to take posts and we're going to get points, and everybody goes and attributes points, Reddit or whatever fucking else, social credit bullshit like China does, you know what I mean? But also here in America, just in a different subtle way, standard bullshit. So it's like, all right, wait. That equates to actual, I agree with you. And guess what, Gen Z's? Fucking ratio! Ratio means nothing, you dumb fucking retard! Shut up about ratios! Oh my god, shut up! They are nothing! Just because a bunch of clowns like somebody fucking doing something doesn't mean in any way it's good, you fucked up little retard! You fucktard little retard. Shut the fuck up. You shut up, you Gen Z retard. You got them to fucking go with you. You got a whole bunch of other fuckers to go along with your fucking bullshit. And you know what? It just ruined everything. That's what that is. On top of, I'm already dealing with the millennials having ruined things. And then the Gen Xers. And then the fucking baby boomers are on their way out. And they're like, I fucking don't even want to do this. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but fucking, I got nothing to help you. You know what I mean? I want to live better for hopefully the next forever. But you know what? We'll see. We're gonna get there maybe. Let's just fucking wait. Hold on. Suck my dick. Feel better. We're just gonna move forward here, right? There could be a comma, there could be a command. It doesn't matter. However it fucking makes it work at this fucking point. That's where we're at. That's where all of us are at. That's how this works. We just want done, dude. Fuck. But it's like, don't worry about it, right? Except actually we need to worry all the time. No! Everything's killing us. We've learned more than enough. We have no... It's like, look, no, that's not what the real issue is. Really, truthfully, it's the fucking weird-ass bullshit that people go along with and don't challenge anymore because they're fucking afraid of how they'll act. But that's rejection sensitivity. For some of you, that has resulted into that fawning and freezing response you've got to get rid of. You got to go through therapy, you little fucking prick. The fucking drugs don't just magically make it so you can do that. You got to actually do the work. You fucking cunt. You have to do that. You fucking stupid cunt. Stop chasing a fucking fake-ass, I'm good at something high that is just a bunch of points. Stop doing it. It's worthless. Actually worthless. You are becoming more and more worthless. That's how that works. You're being turned into a commodity. That's what they're doing to you. You will fucking chase a hyper-individualistic, very high productivity of only these allowed versions of productivity. Capitalism will own you. You will deal with it. Our laws are just. They are correct. You should not challenge them. You should not think in any way that that would ever be appropriate or acceptable. Oh. That's all you are. See what I mean? Like, no, that's what he's saying, though. You should, clearly it's wrong. You dumb fuck. I'm the progress. You stupid fucking retard. Yeah, you got scared. You got a fucking whole thing. You got the career shit. I didn't. I had to still keep working on myself to work through my fucking shit. I couldn't just fucking buy my way out. You little fucking cunt. That's what you are. You're buying your way out. Like, oh, the social will like me, blah, blah, blah. I'm so great. Look. That's what you've become. That's all you are now. You know the scammers are there. You know the hackers are there. You know how they're fucking influencing your ass. You know how every fucking one of those stupid little fucking government douche fucks are doing it too, alongside of other ones. You know what I mean? Like, go fuck yourself. You know what this is. It's like, we know what you're doing. You're not allowed to say bad about us and how you should fucking take over and there'd be no closet. And we would have to run and hide. And we'd be the bad ones who did bad to you. Oh, really? No kidding, huh? No fucking kidding. That's a thing you'd have to do, huh? I'm a fraidy thing, and I don't like hurt. Yeah. Yeah, but you're still in pain right now, aren't you? Yeah, all of that. I control all the little fucking whatever the fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, that one's fucking shit. I influence even five people that influence more people, but you keep influencing more as you go through that, and it keeps going. And everybody kind of really starts thinking the same thing. You get enough people to start saying the same thing, you get the same fucking result. Everybody starts going along with it. That's how that works. Everybody knows that shit. That's been forever! Yet you're still influenced by it. Not by me. You don't even watch me. You see what I'm saying? Like, look, this is just the first take. We'll see if this actually makes it. We'll see. Honestly, we'll see. But it doesn't change that that's very much where that starts off at. It started way and truly before the boomers, right? But it doesn't change that as it went through, this is how it grew and evolved over time to then be influenced by the evolutionary pressure of the individual areas of evolutionary pressure opportunistically in those given points of more or less acceptance. That's an environmental Finch level of Darwin change for those people that act differently based upon that environmental sectional zone that influences you. Simple stuff. But apparently you don't ever think about it because, like, even though you've been told throughout all of your fucking public schooling and more that that's exactly what that is. But no, it's you. Oh, you. Shut up. Shut up, you little fucking cuntard. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Learn to shut the fuck up and just do what I tell you. And what others like my ass that are smarter and better than you do tell you to do. You fuck up. There's a point where even I have to go, look, I'm better at something than you. Shut the fuck up. You're worse at something. You are dumber. You need someone to help you. Shut up. You will either learn that that's what this is, or you'll fucking go get bit by everybody else. Granted, that doesn't mean I'm not necessarily living a wonderful life, but that doesn't mean anything. A wonderful life that's this kind of way of living is not necessarily a wonderful life. That's a fucking perspective of a bourgeois productivity. I get this big house and blah, 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 blah. It's actually kind of irrelevant. You know what I mean? If you actually didn't do that, but you had the necessary, like, you know, I don't know, healthcare and so on, you wouldn't really care, would you? You wouldn't even strive for it. You wouldn't want it. You wouldn't be like this spite and I got this and I made it and go fuck yourself thing. You wouldn't even care. You wouldn't even take on debt to try and get there as a risk. You wouldn't take a gamble. That doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't do any of this shit. You wouldn't even go to a college that makes no sense for you in your life at all. You wouldn't. You would learn it naturally anyways, along multiple different avenues of approach for all the hobbies and more that you would definitely take up because you have the time to. But you need to go and stick with this group and these people and this bubble echo chamber, and it's all basically the same wash after a while. They don't actually do as much work as you might expect, but neither do I. I'm trying my best too, right? I'm just better at things than others. That's how I am, right? I got born naturally and then I kept working my ass off. That's how that worked for me. You know what I mean? But not everybody gets that. So they use teams of people and they spend money typically to head one way or the other. That's how that works, you know? But hey, that doesn't make it good that they did that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's good evidence either. It's actually kind of the opposite. That's bad evidence. It's very survivorship, bias heavy, terribly over the time made to be less and less accurate. Like, look, it's only 1% off. But when it's, I don't know, a couple of fucking decades of fucking 1%, that can be worse and worse. Because that 1% is a compounding interest on every single time, and it has to be corrected. But now, nobody can do that. You don't have enough money for it. You don't have enough money at all to go through that. You don't have enough fucking resources. You don't have anything to do that. You're fucking strapped, bitch. Deal with it. So you're like expecting somebody to come along, and it's like, yo, so okay, I came along. What's wrong with me? But you know, you don't have any of the credentials. You're making sure that you don't do that. I'm making sure. Look at this fuck up. You could obviously, I believe that you're very capable. Yes, I'm glad that you see me. So great. However, I'm still disabled. Suck it. That doesn't change that. I don't care if you like me. It doesn't change that I'm still disabled. Yeah, I need you to be able to help me to be able to do things. That's how that works. But everybody has to lean on one another. Everyone. Yeah, everybody has to lean on everyone, you little fucking retards. That's a thing, right? Like, we all have to do that. But like, hey, I have no one. You have a support network. That's a thing. Yeah, I don't have that. Not at all. And I can't get one. Wanna know why? Because, you need money for that. You need a fucking actual ability to pursue anything. You need actual meds that might work for you. You're a fuck up retard. Can you not even think? Probably not, because of course you want to numb out. That's a part of that. That's like my Xenon reality thing. Like, here's some reality. Here's me making it so that way you're less depressed, because if you use it as an actual treatment for your depression, yay, it'll get better for you. If you don't, well, no wonder why you have to stay away from morphine and more, I'm sure. You get what I'm saying? The projectionists are always around. Standard shit. You're the one, yeah. We know what you're doing. Shut up. You're the fucking weirdo now. This is how this played itself out. Like, you have to think about it this way. This is the only allowed. This is this is that. That's all that is. But it's like, where's your, like, actual, where'd that thought come from? I want to know. Did you just go along with a bunch of people? Or how did this logically make sense to you? If I hear, because it's obvious and it's black and white, like levels of fucking, you know what I mean? I'm like, yep, so you're wrong. Yeah, no. But like, in general, like, it definitely helps more. Okay, how? I don't have to explain myself to you. I wasn't planning on having a conversation. I wasn't... Do you get it after a while? I actually asked those questions and went through it and then went, I gotta do actual work on every one of those things, don't I? I have to go through all of it. Not just logic. I have to use fucking studies. I have to figure out where they're wrong, where they're getting it wrong, how all that went through. I have to figure my shit out, right? My thought process is an amalgamation of a bunch of people that I assumed and trusted did the work. They didn't do the work. They didn't do the fucking work. A lot of them are fucking wrong. They just go along with something that makes sense to them because a lot of people also say it. You know what I mean? But it's like, hey, it doesn't matter what your fucking sexuality is. You're still a good person. Deal with it. That's an automatic bare minimum. You know what I mean? So it's like, even the pedophiles, oh no, I have to be treated good. No. They do, actually. Yeah, that's objectivity. You have to do that. You fucking fuck up retard. How stupid can you get? You can't just go, what's up, all of you people that are like you? Meanwhile, I went, gabagoos, brand new term for me, right? I never really heard it from someone else, but I just, friendle it up. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna fucking make up a word. Gabagoo. That works. That's good. I like that. That's good. I'm gonna use that. Narcissist, violent, manipulative, psychopathic, etc. You get the general gist. They always ruin everything. They always try and mirror it. They always try and project. They always try and use all the same fucking language that effectively makes it so that way you are the manipulative, really shitty, I love using this word, predator. You're a predator now. But you're not. You're a prey to us. You have to act that way to get them to not really remove you. Like, literally just kill you. They would just kill you. Like, if truthfully we remove this idea of, like, we need to allow for everybody to live, you know, the whole fucking puritanical garbage, you would be the one dead. That's how that works. You would actually be the one dead. That's actually how that works. You know, just imagine I'm lifting them up, put them over there. You know what I mean? They don't mean anything to me. They can say it all the time, but that's an obvious statement, right? But it's like, hey, you clearly got to manipulate people to get them to get better. Yeah, like fucking therapists, right? No. Oh, really? You sure about that? Because they manipulate your perspective, but in a positive way. They challenge your belief systems and your perspective to ultimately get you there. Can you ever come up with a scenario where something's okay? More often than not, you'd be surprised how often you can. Why is it that we have things done this way? Because that's good the way they do it? What is the way they're currently doing it that has the certain flaws that they have? Okay, well, but we don't need to think about that. Yes, you do, actually. You need to make it better. That's what the general evolutionary construct of everything is. Everything is going to try and make something better. That's how that works. Literally. Look, evolution says, I want to live longer, I want to live happier, I want to live healthier, etc. I want to have more kids. Right. You are also a construct of that. You will try and make your government, you will try and make your whole fucking career, you'll try and do all of that so that way it's better. You stupid dumb fuck. That's a baseline. That's a baseline. You gotta fucking deal with that. You're wrong if you don't do that, clearly. And if you try and challenge me, wrong, obviously. You're stupid. That's just how that works. So yeah, fucking, you know what I mean? I can act you out like that. It's like nothing. That's how you're gonna do that. But that's, you know, that's a statistical probability. I was like, no, you haven't seen that happen when you finally hit somebody like that and they can't go after you? And they have to shut up and listen? You haven't seen that before? I've seen that so many fucking times. It's insane. Narcissists and gabagoos. You know what I mean? Like, gabagoos are what they are. It's just gabagoos. You know what I mean? Like, they're just right there. They're always trying to fuck around. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, but that's what got into your groups. But your groups are already bad to begin with because you were already wrong with what you were doing. And then you appease them like, no, we're not going to do that. Kind of have to. Yeah, that's a thing. You have to do that. That's a thing. So, same thing moving forward for everyone fucking else, bro. You see what I'm saying? You can't just fucking not. You're allowing for something to destroy the gene pool. The epigenetic fucking history continues to get worse as we get stressed, go through more war, all the rest of it. And then on top of it, we have a fucking environmental fucking predecessor, or whatever you want to go with, you know, present, whatever. Right. But then that changes it more and more towards more and more psychopathy and gabagoo natures. But that's capitalism for us, right? But it's not just capitalism, clearly, right? We will fight for more resources, but we don't really need to. One of the things that ultimately made us as good as we are was we worked together for our resources. That's actually what happened. That's how this works. We would understand how to make resources last and share. You have more of this, I'll have more of that. You know what I mean? Which, hey, isn't that just pressure differentials in thermodynamics, right? Standard things. You have more, even that out, right? You're all the same fucking math, bitch. You're all the same fucking shit. You are. Don't fucking try. You are. But it doesn't change that fucking shitty part, doesn't it? All right? It's like, look at you fuck-ups. You think that that's good? You think, oh, I got some points, I got whatever the fuck that is, whatever that is online. Like, right? Like, come on, man. Really? You got that fucking, like, little, going on as the person tries to mimic me, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's standard. Whatever that is online. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it already. But it's like, that's what that is. That's what you're doing. That's literally it, dude. Like, that's all it is, man. For real. Like, dude, calm the fuck down. Watch this. Look through out all of that. Label every single one of these posts that are to influence you to think. And if you don't think like this, as you go through any of these comments, obviously groupthink says this. Go through any of them that are downvoted to hell and or they deleted whatever the fuck, all right? And go through that. Just go through that over time. I mean it. That's all they're doing. Literally. Okay? So it's like, shit on this, boom, 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 boom. Hey, this is not like what I like, and you can't do, boom, 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 boom. This is the only way you're allowed. You cannot, hey, what about like, they actually still had a good life and there wasn't any, or, hey, this was actually differently viewed by them, and we just denied that validity of that perspective for them. You know what I mean? Like, let's just go through how we're doing that. Every step for every post, for every single comment, and more and more. Now go through that and then watch as you become astoundingly acutely aware of how shit every fucking person is around you. That's what that is. watch as you look in horror, more than likely, of an overwhelming, I can't possibly make this good. And it's like, you're right. You gotta leave. That's the thing. You have to leave. You don't fix generations of stupid. You don't do that. There's no way, right? Like, you take good and then you leave. That's what you gotta do. You gotta make something new happen. That's what you do. You don't fucking have a shot of going against a massive wall of garbage that you're going to slowly put in new psyops and like, and then it'll fucking get better over enough time maybe. And then all the times that it can fail along the way, this massive engine that you're fucking doing anything with, the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, it's a clear engine. That's just like, you know, standard what they're already doing anyways. That's how they run this shit. That's what that is, right? So it's like, oh, and you're just going to introduce yourself. You're just going to fucking, you know, it's like, go get the hell out. Go make something new. Do that. Let them ruin themselves. It's okay. You do not have to fix or help your abusers. Remember that part. That's the baby boomer psyop, man. Yeah, that kind of shit.